Okay, I think I have everything. I have my notebook, my handy dandy notebook. Shout out to Steve. And I have all my eyeshadow palettes ready. Hope you like my spooky bookends. These little ravens. And ravens do happen to be one of my favorite birds. Extremely intelligent, kind of mysterious, maybe like me. Hello, happy October, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica, and I am here to film an update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. I've been working on 6 shadows in the past month. I have some exciting updates to share with you, and we'll be getting to roll 2 shadows out and randomly select 2 new shadows to bring into the project. So I'm super excited for that. Oh, I also wanted to talk about my look today. So I tried to incorporate some eyeshadows from my project into my makeup look today. This fall, I've really been feeling the cooler tones. I don't know if that's just because of the shadows that are in my project right now, but I do have some warmer shadows, and I've really been gravitating more towards the cool shadows in my project. I don't know why. I think it's just maybe a little bit less expected for the fall season. And I still think it's kind of fall-ish. But I also had some issues with some of the shades that I was using today and didn't quite get the look that I was wanting. I ended up salvaging it in the end, but we'll talk about that when I get to those shadows. Here's the color palette of eyeshadows that I've been working on this past month. And last update, I did bring in a 6th shade for the first time. And I will admit it's been a little harder to make progress on the shades in my project with an extra shade being in there, but I am enjoying just having a little bit more variety. So we're gonna take that part with it. So we're gonna keep with 6 shades for now. So yeah, let's go ahead and update you, and I'll let you know what's rolling out, what's staying in, and then we'll see what gets rolled in to my project. We're gonna start with my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. This palette has been in my project for, it's been like now 5 months because I had 2 shades in the project. And one of the shades I rolled out last month, that was Summer Yum. And the other shade that we were working on was the shade Caramelized. So this is the progress on Caramelized that I've made. And in the past month, I was able to use this shade an additional 6 times, so only 6 more times. Last month, I'd already reached my usage goal, which was, at least 30 uses, but I like to keep my shadows in for at least 3 months, or until I hit pan, of course. So in total, I've used this shadow 38 times, and now she is looking like this. So there's Caramelized up at the top in the center, and definitely was starting to get more of a little dip in there, more so than you could see last month, but not much more. I started using a brush with this, and I did find that the brush made a little bit more of an impact than my finger did, picked up more product. Although this shade, you have to be careful with fallout if you use a brush. Definitely use glitter glue with it, because otherwise you'll have little brown flecks all over your cheek, which is not always the look that you're going for. I really don't think pan was anywhere close on this shade. I have yet to hit any pans in this palette as much as I've used it, but it does look a lot more loved, I think, than when I brought it in, and that makes me feel good. And hopefully I'll roll it back in the spring, which would be just amazing. Although, I still have lots of palettes in this project that haven't gotten their time to shine yet, so it would be nice to roll in some new things too. So here's Caramelized, this one here, this shimmery brown. I really did enjoy wearing this shade all over the lid. It was very easy to wear, and I thought it was pretty. It was a nice everyday shade. I could wear it to work easily. Enjoyed having it in. Bummed I couldn't hit pan, but what are you gonna do? The next palette that has been in my project for 3 months is another repeat palette. This is the second time this palette's been in this project, and I've been working on the shade Big Wig. Big Wig was this, the matte purple in the Jackie Aina palette, and I'll be honest, the shade was kind of tricky to use. I felt that it blended out a lot, and I wasn't necessarily getting the pigment placement that I wanted. So being the 3rd month, I'll show you what it looked like when it rolled in, and then the first update, and then the second update. I wasn't expecting to, but after just, 6 more uses, I was able to hit pan. So that's what she's looking like. You can see there's a little tiny pan in there. I finally started getting serious on this shade and using a detail brush to apply this to the outer corner and to the lash line on a more regular basis. Well, at least 6 times I did that, and I did hit pan. It was a nice surprise pan. I wasn't necessarily expecting to hit pan on this shade. I was happy just to roll it out and, you know, be getting use on this palette as a whole. I do love this palette. I wish I could have played with it more. I felt like the purple didn't mesh so well with like this side of the palette, which is my favorite side. And I don't know, I was just like had enough of like pinks and purples in my other palettes. So yeah, but maybe I'll roll in one of those shades another time. This palette does seem to like to hang out in this project. I did use it a couple more times, I think 2 more times after hitting pan. So I used this shade a total of 25 times. You know, we got the use on it, we hit the pan, and I feel happy about that. Goodbye, Jackie Anna. See you later. You can come back if you want. This palette, the Give Me Glow Pastel Dreams palette, has been with me for 2 months, and I've been working on the shade Peach for the Stars. This shade right here, like a pastel shimmery peachy color. I love this shade. It's so beautiful. It just makes your lids look wet with pigment and sparkle. And I think that's a good look. This has been in for 2 months now. I used this shade 13 times the first month and it was looking like this. It had a decent little dip in it and I was hopeful to hit pan in it with not much more use. I did use it 10 more times this month and unfortunately we haven't hit pan. We just have another good sized dip. So that's what she's looking like right now. And I do love this shade. I think it is so beautiful. It's so much fun to wear. I mean, it's kind of like neutral, so it's really easy to wear to work and everything. I've actually been pairing it quite a bit with Twinkle Twinkle, the matte peach shade. So I just kind of put like this in the crease. I might like deepen it with another shade for my project and then put this on the lid and the inner corner also. And yeah, I've also dipped into La La Land a few times this month. And I think I also used Lavender Sky, which unfortunately is quite a disappointing shade for me. It actually has like an orange shift. So believe it or not, even though it looks completely different in the pan, on the eye, they look pretty darn similar. It's like not a true purple, which is kind of a bummer because you know how I feel about purple and I would just love to have a pastel lavender shimmery shade, and it's a bummer that this palette doesn't deliver that. But we're not talking about Lavender Sky, we're talking about Peach for the Stars. So yeah, this, I have no idea how deep these pans are. It could be really deep, it could be pretty shallow. I feel like the pans are very large, so that normally means that the pans are pretty shallow. But we'll see. It does bring up a lot of product when you just tap it very lightly. It's not firmly pressed at all. So I think that by next update, we might have a pan in this. I'm hopeful that we will. But in the meantime, I've used it 23 times. So I'll definitely at least get that 30 use goal in 3 months. So either way, we'll probably be rolling this out next month. All right, so last month we rolled in the Glitter Storm palette from Ciate London again, and we rolled in the shade Comet. Comet is this like matte pink, like mauve pink shade right here, and I really do love it. It's quite a pretty flattering shade, and it's been nice having it. I really enjoyed working with it, and it's been nice having this palette to use in the past couple of weeks. This is what Comet was looking like when we rolled her in. She had a little bit of use on her, but since rolling her in, we've used it 11 more times, and she's looking like this. And I know this palette has like a lot of glare on it, so probably rely on the close-up. But yeah, this shade, these mattes are quite powdery, and it's been really easy to get a good amount of obvious use on this shade. I use a fluffy brush with it, and it, like I said, it's powdery. It picks up quite a bit of product. I don't hate it. I really like working with it. It kind of reminds me of like the Lorac formula of mattes, which I enjoy, and the ABH formula. It's very different from the shimmers. Like this shade Interstellar took me forever to hit pan on. After just 11 uses, I feel like pan is coming up pretty quick. So I expect to hit pan on Comet, and that's exciting to have another pan in this palette. I love this palette. I really enjoyed working with it, and it's just so fun to enjoy the glitter on a daily basis. I just love it. So anyways, I am wearing this palette on my eyes today along with another palette. Okay, so I have Comet in the crease along with another shade, kind of like the upper crease. And then I also used Whirlwind to blend into my brow bone because, okay, long story short is I tried using this palette and it was terrible. So we'll talk about that when I get to. So I had to like bring in this palette to save the day, and it did. So thank you, Glitter Storm. So yeah, I used this on the brow bone, this like on the upper crease, and then I use this in the outer crease. This is Stargazer, and to get a lot of like purple in the outer corner. And then of course I had to use a glitter because this is a Glitter Storm palette, and it really did like save the look because I was feeling like a fall goth vibe that I wasn't going for. I wanted like a cool tone look, but I didn't want to look like a big muddy mess. Lorac Vintage Vixen. Anyways, so yeah, I used Strike, I believe. No. Yeah, Strike. This middle glitter all over the lid. And that's my look. So yeah, love having this around. Like I said, it saved my day today. I'm still not like in love with my look. It's not my favorite look I've ever done, but it was a lot better than it was before we brought her in. So thank you. So she's gonna stay in for another month. So we can talk about you now. So this is the Lorac Vintage Vixen palette, and I don't know what's going on because I just said I like Lorac shades. Didn't I just say that? I think that this palette might just be like really old. Like I don't even know how old it was when my friend gave it to me, and I've had it for at least like 3 years. We're working on this middle shade. It doesn't have a name, but it's this taupey brown color right here. So I've used this shade 9 times, and this is what it was looking like when I rolled it in, basically brand new, and now it looks like this after 9 uses. And you can see I've got a little bit of a dent in there, definitely starting to like see some wear at that spot that I'm focusing on. And, you know, if I like really focused on this shade, I think I could hit pan on it pretty easily. It's mostly what's in my crease in this look. It was doing okay when I just used that shade. However, while I do like that shade, so I tried to do this look with this palette today. I put this one on the brow bone, and then I tried to deepen my outer corner with this, but it just blended, like, it's not the same color it looks in the pan. It looks kind of like this like reddish brown in the pan, like kind of like a maroony, like cool toned. It just turned like really dark brown on the eye. Like it just, I don't know, it wasn't like, it didn't have that like burgundy quality once it was applied to the eye, and it just muddied up with this one and looked like one big muddied mess. Like there was no distinction between these two shades, and I don't think it was me. Like I'm pretty good with my placement and my blending. I've been doing eyeshadow for a long time. You know, I'm not like a makeup artist by any means, but I was just disappointed with how this performed as a whole. I do not hate the shade, but like I probably wouldn't miss it if I decluttered it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this in for another month, get some more use on it, and just experiment with it a little bit more. And if I'm not feeling this, I might roll it out and declutter it, because I really am trying to get things out of my collection. I just brought in a few things that I really didn't need, I'll be honest. So yeah, this could go. It could. But for now, it's got 9 uses and it'll hang out for a little bit longer, taking up a spot, because I feel like a taupey brown in the fall is not a bad color to have around. And like I said, I have been gravitating more towards cooler shades, so we'll play with it for that reason. So you can stay for a little bit. The last shade that we rolled in is Succubus from my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. And I forgot to tell you the name of the shade last update, but it is Succubus. And I definitely had a little bit of use on this shade when I rolled it in. This is what it was looking like when I rolled it in. And this shade is basically a dead ringer for Summer Yum, the shade I had just rolled out from Too Faced Sweet Peach. So I can't get away from these warm browns. Anyways, I have used this shade 12 times this month, and she's looking like this. So she definitely has a little bit of a disturbance in there. You can see some use, and I'm not hating having this palette around. I actually really like this shade here. It's called Ludwin. So I put this like to buff it all over my crease, and then I put this in like the outer crease to deepen it. I top it with Peach for the Stars. That's been like a very common go-to look. You'll probably see it at the end of this video. I did that a lot for work. So if I wasn't doing a cool tone look with like Big Wig and Comet and the taupe shade from Lorac, then I was doing a warm tone look with those other 3 shades. That's pretty much been my routine, and you know, caramelized in there as one of the warm tones. This palette, you know, it is a good palette, and I've been on the fence about getting rid of it, but I feel like it's nice to have. I don't necessarily use it on myself, but I love using it on friends, like for Halloween. I don't mind just like going to town on these shades, and I feel like there's something in here for everybody. And I especially really like these 2 shades around Halloween time for like ghoulish looks, like contouring, if you want like that like gray tone contour. I feel like it's a nice piece to have in a collection, even though it's getting kind of old. But we're going to hold on to her and get hopefully some pan in it. That would be so cool if we hit pan on her. But I don't know. I don't know if it happened. These palettes are probably pretty pigmented and pretty deep. If you've hit pan on one of these shades, let me know how it went, because I'd be interested to know what I'm in for. But for now, she's going to stay in, 12 uses, and she'll party for a little bit longer. Okay, we are rolling out 2 shades. Hooray! We're rolling out the caramelized shade from Too Faced Sweet Peach, and we are rolling out, what other one? Oh yeah, Big Wig from the Jackie Aina ABH. So we're gonna roll in 2 more eyeshadows right now. Let me go get my computer. I have 384 shadows in my collection without pan in them, so they are eligible to be rolled into my project. So we are going to use the Google random number generator and put in numbers 1 to 384. And I do still have eyeshadows to add to my spreadsheet, and I'll do it eventually. I might wait till the start of the year. You know, just like start fresh project pan in January like people do. I just carried over last time, but let me know. Should I carry over or should I start fresh in the new year? I'm going to add those new palettes regardless, but let me know what you think. So 1 to 384, let's generate. I'm hoping for good ones. Okay, we have number 203. Let's see what that is. Okay. It's also from the Give Me Glow Pastel Dreams palette. So do I want to work with 2 shades in here? I don't know. It's shade number 6. This is what I mean. Okay, I rolled in Peach for the Stars. Okay, so obviously we're gonna re-roll. I already am working on that shade. Nothing is random. I swear, nothing is random. I need to find a new way to do this, because this is just, I don't know. I gotta figure out a way to randomize this more. Okay, shade 360 is next. Let's see what that is. Ooh. Okay, this might be a black. It's my ABH Soft Glam palette, shade number 14. So let me check that out real quick. I think that might be a black shade. I'm not gonna pan a black. Yeah, it's shade number 14. It's Noir. So I know maybe what I'll do, this is what my friend Emma would tell me to do. She would say, bring the palette into your project, use the black, and you know, just do it. Just like bring it in for fun. I don't know. It's just like not fun to pan a black. So yeah, I'm not going to bring it in, but I will do Emma a solid, and I will use this palette a little bit. No, I probably won't. No, you know what, Emma? No. Let's roll in another shade. I'm just like not having good luck, I guess. Let's see what else there is. Okay, 364. Ooh, okay. It is another ABH palette. It's my Modern Renaissance palette, and that's kind of exciting because I haven't rolled that palette in, I don't think. Oh yes, I did. I did have it in once before. But I love that palette too. And it's even more old than my Soft Glam palette. So, you know, might need some love. So that's shade number 5. Let's see what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, okay. So we rolled in the shade Antique Bronze from the Modern Renaissance ABH palette. So I'm actually excited about that because it is a shade that is very, you know, kind of cool toned, and it would pair really well with Comet and with that taupe shade. So yeah, like Bon Fresco, I think is kind of like a dupe for Comet. So I'll hit pan on Comet, and then I might just roll right over to this one. Hit pan on Bon Fresco. I would love to have more pans in this palette. I only have 2, and it is probably one of my oldest palettes I own. So yeah, let me swatch Antique Bronze for you. I'm excited about that. So yeah, there's Antique Bronze. Not a lot of use on this shade. Definitely what hasn't been like the one I gravitate to the most, but I'm kind of changing my preferences a little bit right now. So there is Antique Bronze, what she's looking like now. And I hope to hit pan on like another shade while I'm at it in this palette. These shades are pretty easy to hit pan on, quite powdery, so that would be awesome. So yeah, welcome to the party, ABH. Super glad to have you, Anastasia. Let's roll in one more because I'm not bringing in Soft Glam. Not doing it. Okay, but Emma, here's my compromise. If I do need to use a black liner, that's the one I'll reach for, okay? So I think she'll be happy with that. Okay, well, let's roll in one more shade. Come on. 290. They're all like around each other. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, another repeat palette to Tri-Peat. My BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. Okay, let's see what shade it is. It's shade number 16. Oh gosh. I like almost got rid of this palette. I don't want to work on this shade. It's this dark blue. And like, I just feel like it's going to be so patchy. I'm swatching her. Let's see. I just realized that this antique bronze shade is almost exactly like caramelized. Okay. Anyways, there's the blue shade. What do you think? I'm just like not happy. Maybe I should just get rid of it, you know? It's like if I really don't want to work, I mean, I would work on a green. I would work on a yellow. I would even work on another purple, but like I don't want to work on this navy color. You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to bring it in. Okay, I'll power through. I'll do some colorful looks. I will power through this. I will just like use blue liner like it's the 80s every day. You know, I'll do some deep navy looks. These are pretty easy to hit pan on, hopefully. So, you know, I'm not happy about this, okay? But it is what it is. So, not happy. Okay, so here is my palette for the upcoming month. We will do our best with this. You know, we'll see what happens with this blue. If it's not working out, then we'll give it a few weeks and then we'll move on with our lives. We have this taupe shade from the Lorac Vintage Vixen palette, Teak Bronze from the ABH Modern Renaissance palette, Peach for the Stars from the Give Me Glow Cosmetics Pastel Dreams, Comet from the Ciate London Glitter Storm palette, Succubus from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and this random navy blue from the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil. Even though I asked not to be taken back to Brazil, here we are. Oh, Butter's hungry. Oh my God, you guys haven't seen Butter in a while. Come here, baby. Come here, my boy. He loves to be held. He just loves it. I'm going to insert some of my looks from the past month right here. Definitely didn't take a ton of pictures. My looks were pretty basic. Like I said, I was kind of flipping between two looks most days, unless it was the weekend or something. So here's an example. Thanks for watching my video today. Sorry if I was kind of being weird. I don't know. I just feel out of it today. It's been a weird month. I'm good, but you know, life is hard. But good thing I have you. Hope you're having a great spooky season, and I'm wishing you all a happy Halloween. See you next time. Bye. I think I got lipstick on them.